Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of China Update, where we discuss leading political, economic, and geostrategic analysis on the world's number 2 economy. My name is Tony. Looks like it's going to be a busy week, so let's jump in. And first up, sadly, one person was killed and 4 others injured in Chongqing's Banan district on Saturday when a driver allegedly plowed his car into a crowd following a heated dispute, according to local police. The incident occurred after the 38-year-old, surnamed Xiong, identified only by his surname, reportedly became agitated when another vehicle blocked his path. The driver of that vehicle had stopped in front of a residential community to unload goods. According to local police, as the argument escalated, Xiong attempted to drive away, injuring people who tried to prevent him from leaving, killing one. Now, why are we talking about this random incident from the southwest of the country? Well, as regular viewers know, this event is noteworthy as it comes amid heightened national concern over vehicle ramming incidents following a mass deadly attack in Zhuhai last November. In that case, a 62-year-old man deliberately drove an SUV into a crowd outside a sports center, killing 35 and injuring 43. He was later sentenced to death. China has seen a surge in mass killings via mostly knife attacks and car rammings in recent months. This Chongqing incident has reignited discussions over public safety and social tensions, as well as concerns that economic slowdown is triggering violent incidents across the country. Indeed, authorities across China have recently stepped up security and conflict resolution efforts to prevent similar mass attacks. Local officials are being urged to address community disputes early and bolster grassroots measures aimed at maintaining, quote, social harmony, end quote. And of course, surveillance and policing resources have massively increased. As investigations into Saturday's fatal confrontation continue, the case highlights the growing challenges in managing spontaneous violence and ensuring public order in urban settings as China's economic crises deepen. And speaking of the economy, that brings us to our next development. We got some more official numbers today, Monday, and it's very much a mixed bag. These are official numbers, so we take them with a grain of salt. China's retail sales jumped 6.4% year-on-year in May, the fastest pace since December 2023, and well above analysts' expectations, offering a rare bright spot in an otherwise mixed economic picture. Official data released today by the National Bureau of Statistics attributed part of the surge to consumer activity during the Labor Day and Dragon Boat holidays, alongside early promotional campaigns for major online shopping events like JD.com's 618 Festival. The strong retail performance helped offset weaker than expected industrial output and investment growth. Industrial production rose 5.8% in May, slowing from April's 6.1% and just under economists' 5.9% forecast. Fixed asset investment for the first 5 months grew 3.7%, missing projections and down from 4% in the January through April period. Despite concerns over deflation and a persistent property slump, the upbeat consumption figures provided a confidence boost to policymakers grappling with slowing domestic demand and external headwinds, including heightened trade tensions with the United States. Exports to the US plunged more than 34% in May, the sharpest drop since February 2020, but outbound shipments in Southeast Asia, Europe, and Africa cushioned the blow. Goldman Sachs noted the resilience in overall exports, arguing that bilateral tariffs have so far failed to materially curtail China's global trade presence. However, as we have seen, this is causing frictions with other trade partners. The European Union has accused China of redirecting trade from the US to Europe and dumping it on their market at discounted prices, which is being sustained by huge industrial policy back in China. If the Europeans take a note out of the Americans' book and push back, China will be running out of markets to send their products to. Now, despite this somewhat positive data published today, domestic economic fragilities persist. Consumer prices fell 0.1% in May, marking a 4th consecutive month of year-on-year decline, while producer prices dropped 3.3%. New home prices also fell 0.22%, the steepest monthly drop since October. These structural crises, therefore, are very much ongoing. China's unemployment rate eased slightly to 5% in May, the lowest since November 2023, providing modest relief amid a weak labour market. The government has ramped up stimulus this year, including early bond issuance for infrastructure projects and cuts to key interest rates. Unemployment among graduates is still an economic issue, one that's fast becoming a social and political one too. Next up, we have one one more development to cover, but just quickly, if you're getting some value from today's episode of China Update and you'd like to support the channel, it's a huge help if you can like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribing is a tremendous help as well. 45% of regular viewers are not subscribed, so with just 2 clicks of the mouse, you can go a long way in helping keep this channel sustainable and help me producing these videos every day. Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are also in the description. I rely primarily on subscriber support to keep going. This is a purely independent channel, so if you want to support these efforts, this is a big help as well. Thank you so much. And finally for today, China is accelerating its nuclear weapons development at a pace unmatched by any other nation, with the potential to rival the intercontinental ballistic missile ICBM arsenals of the United States and Russia by 2030, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPIR. In its latest yearbook, the SIPIR estimates that China has added around 100 nuclear warheads annually since 2023, bringing its stockpile to at least 600. This rapid expansion comes amid General Secretary Xi Jinping's vision for China to become a, quote, world-class military power, end quote, by mid-century. SIPRI warns that the build-out, if sustained, could result in China fielding as many ICBMs as the US or Russia, although its total number of warheads is still expected to remain much smaller. While most of China's warheads are reportedly stored separately from their launchers, ISPRI notes that some may now be mounted on missiles. Of particular concern is the construction of around 350 new ICBM silos in desert and mountainous regions. If fully operational and equipped with missiles carrying multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, MIRVs, China could deploy over 1,200 warheads on ICBMs alone. Hans Christensen of the Federation of American Scientists emphasized that such capabilities dramatically increase China's destructive potential. However, he noted that strategic nuclear threats against the US in a regional conflict like Taiwan would likely provoke overwhelming retaliation, making such scenarios improbable. Instead, China may rely on regional missile systems like the DF-26, capable of targeting US military bases in Asia. Simultaneously, China is upgrading its sea and air-based nuclear delivery systems, including the development of Type 096 submarines and new strategic bombers. The global picture is also shifting. Nearly all 9 nuclear-armed states, including India, France, and North Korea, are modernizing their arsenals. SIPRI warns that the post-Cold War era of arms reductions is ending, with arms control agreements like New START in danger and no clear successor in sight. SIPRI Director Dan Smith cautioned that the emerging arms race, driven by new technologies such as AI, space weapons, and cyber capabilities, could prove more volatile and unpredictable than the last. Without renewed international dialogue and updated frameworks, the world faces an increasingly complex and dangerous weapons landscape. Okay, that is today's episode of China Update. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Have a good Monday, have a good week, and I will see you for a new update tomorrow.